This separation between person and being is a made-up thing that later on was developed by Christians. Go throughout all human history. Nobody was like counting things. One person, one being, two persons, two being. Like, so it's irrelevant. So the Old Testament is not going to refer using your new made-up terminology, philosophical terminology of person and being. So that whole argument is a red herring, because you cannot request the Old Testament to use developed philosophical terminologies that came from the Greeks later on. You cannot require the Old Testament to use these terminologies. Just like the Quran never uses these terminologies. Quran never says Allah is one person, one being, because everyone knows when you say one being that this is also one person. Also, the Old Testament refers to the Father. And whenever it says you're only God, it refers to the Father. And you consider the Father a person. So it only refers to that one person. Whenever it talks about divinity, whenever it talks about one God, it refers to the Father. It speaks about what you refer to as the Father. That's the only thing it does. If there was anything else, it would reference to it. So you, like I said, you can bring all of these, with all due respect, word salad and semantics to try to kind of say, oh, look, there is this, there is that. But when you look at the Old Testament, you don't have the same idea. The Jewish people believed in a Messiah. This was their central theme. Your central theme is redemption. You tried to say that was the same theme in the Old Testament. It wasn't. The theme in the Old Testament was the waiting for the King Messiah, the King of the Jews, that comes and then leads all the Jews to prosperity, leads them, rebuilds the temple, brings an era of peace. That is their worldview. That's why they're still waiting for that, because that didn't happen yet. This is their central theme. They don't believe in an original sin that remains until today that needs God himself to come redeem us. That's your belief. So like I said, you can try to jump around this all you want, but in reality, that is not a consistent theme. These are two separate ideas. One idea is if you do the commandments of God and you follow the prophet of God, you will attain salvation. And there is a Messiah to come to be the King of the Jews, to bring an era of peace and rule with the judgment of God. This is the Old Testament kind of narrative. This was always the Old Testament narrative with all the prophets. Like I said, Abraham laws, Noah laws, all of these laws. Follow the laws, obey the commandments of God. It was always the same. That was the teachings. Now you come and say, oh, you don't need to obey laws anymore. Actually, Paul's saying that. But anyways, you don't need to obey the laws anymore. Just believe in this atonement of God himself coming to die for sin. There is no connect. No matter which way you want to link it, there is no connection.